Charlize Theron, a name that echoes through Hollywood with the elegance of a queen and the power of a warrior. For over 2 decades, she has ruled the silver screen with her beauty, her talent, and her fearlessness. But in 2025, the story of Charlize Theron is no longer just about the bright lights of Hollywood. It's about something deeper, something more personal, and something that makes her life today more fascinating than ever. From whispers of a new husband to rumors of a future baby, from her incredible homes and jaw-dropping car collection to her massive fortune, Charlize's lifestyle in 2025 is a story worth telling, and trust me, it's one you won't want to miss. Let's go back for just a moment. Charlize wasn't born into luxury, fame, or even opportunity. Her story began in South Africa, where she was raised in a world that was far from glamorous. She faced tragedy at a young age, hardship that could have broken her spirit, but instead, it shaped her into someone stronger, someone destined to take on the world. By the time she set foot in Hollywood, she was unstoppable. Her rise was swift, and her presence was undeniable. But even at the peak of her career, Charlize never became just another starlet. She became a force. A woman respected not only for her stunning looks, but for her acting range, her determination, and her courage to speak out in an industry that often silences women. Now, fast forward to 2025, and Charlize's life has taken turns that even the best Hollywood screenwriters couldn't predict. The headlines scream with rumors of a new husband, a surprise to many who always saw Charlize as fiercely independent. A woman who didn't need a man to define her, and that's still true. But perhaps, after years of choosing carefully, after protecting her private life with intensity, Charlize has finally found someone who matches her strength, her fire, and her soul. The idea of Charlize Theron walking down the aisle again sends a ripple of excitement across her fans. Because let's be honest, who wouldn't want to know who the man is who won her heart? And then of course, there are the whispers of a future baby. Charlize has always been open about her journey as a mother. She adopted her 2 daughters, Jackson and August, and has poured her heart into raising them as strong, confident, and kind individuals. Motherhood for Charlize has been the role of a lifetime, but in 2025, the possibility of adding another child to her family, whether through adoption or birth, is a storyline that has captured the imagination of millions. Could we see Charlize Theron, at 50, embrace motherhood all over again? If anyone can, it's her. She's never lived by the rules of others. She's always carved her own path, and maybe, just maybe, that path still has room for another child. But let's step away from the personal rumors for a moment and look at the tangible lifestyle Charlize enjoys today. Her homes are nothing short of spectacular, from her modern mansion in Los Angeles, where glass walls overlook the city of stars, to her more private retreats far away from the noise. Charlize has created sanctuaries that reflect her personality. These aren't just homes, they're places of comfort, of family, of escape. Inside, the interiors are chic and timeless, filled with art and memories. Outside, the views stretch endlessly, a reminder of just how far she's come from her small-town beginnings in South Africa. And then, there's her love for cars. Charlize Theron is not your average Hollywood star when it comes to automobiles. While she appreciates luxury, she also loves performance. Her garage reportedly includes everything from sleek sports cars to rugged SUVs, vehicles that match her dual nature. On one hand, she's the glamorous, Oscar-winning actress. On the other, she's the tough, no-nonsense warrior who once shaved her head for Mad Max and drove a war rig across a desert. Imagine Charlize behind the wheel of a roaring Lamborghini one day, and then calmly pulling up in a Range Rover to drop her daughters at school the next. That's the duality that makes her so intriguing. Of course, all of this is powered by her incredible net worth. In 2025, Charlize Theron is estimated to be worth over $170 million. That fortune has been built not just through her acting, but through producing, endorsements, and smart investments. Unlike many stars who burn through their wealth, Charlize has always been careful, strategic, and business-minded, and it's paid off. But what's fascinating about Charlize is that she doesn't flaunt her money the way others do. Yes, she has the luxury, the cars, the homes, but she also pours her resources into her foundation, into causes that matter, into building a world where her daughters, and all daughters, can grow up safer and freer than she did. Now, here's where Charlize's story in 2025 becomes more than just a celebrity lifestyle. It becomes a lesson, because when you strip away the red carpets, the golden statues, the glamorous headlines, what remains is a woman who built herself from the ground up. She faced tragedy, rejection, and the brutal reality of an industry that chews people up and spits them out. And yet, she rose. Not just once, but again and again. Each role she took, each transformation she embraced, was proof of her resilience. From her chilling performance in Monsar, which won her an Academy Award, to her action-packed brilliance in Mad Max Fury Road, to her more recent projects that continued to push boundaries, Charlize has never allowed herself to be boxed in. In 2025, she's not just an actress, she's a producer, a businesswoman, a mother, and perhaps, once again, a wife. She's a woman who understands that life isn't about following expectations, it's about creating your own destiny. And that's what makes her lifestyle today so captivating. It's not the money, or the homes, or even the cars. It's the choices. The choice to live authentically. The choice to protect her children fiercely from the spotlight. The choice to embrace love, even when the world thinks she doesn't need it. The choice to balance her legendary career with the simple joy of being a mom at home. Think about it. How many celebrities at her level would even consider stepping back to enjoy motherhood? To spend time away from the constant glare of Hollywood? Yet Charlize does it effortlessly, because she knows something that many never learn. True wealth isn't measured in dollars, it's measured in peace, in family, in love. So when you look at Charlize Theron's life in 2025, you see more than just a Hollywood superstar. You see a woman who has built an empire, yes, but who also knows when to step away from the throne and simply live. You see a woman who has conquered not only the film industry but also the trials of life. You see someone who remains as relevant, as powerful, and as inspiring as ever, not because she chases the spotlight, but because she doesn't need to. Charlize Theron. Even saying her name feels like conjuring up an image of elegance, strength, and timeless beauty. For years, she has stood at the very center of Hollywood's brightest stage, commanding it not just with her looks, but with her talent, her grit, and her refusal to ever fit into anyone's box. But here we are, in 2025, looking at a woman whose story goes far beyond red carpets and flashing cameras. Because the truth is, Charlize Theron's lifestyle in 2025 is not just about glamour, luxury, and fame. It's about a woman who has lived through heartbreak and triumph, who has embraced change without fear, and who today finds herself in one of the most fascinating chapters of her life. A chapter filled with whispers of a new husband, the possibility of another child, a world of luxury estates and powerful cars, and a net worth that could make anyone's jaw drop. But at the core of it all lies something more powerful than money or fame: resilience, authenticity, and the courage to live life on her own terms. Let's take a step back. Charlize Theron was not born into this world of privilege. Her story begins in Benoni, a small farming community in South Africa. It was a childhood that could not have been further from the Hollywood dream. She grew up on her family's farm, surrounded by animals, dirt roads, and a life that was anything but glamorous. Yet even in those early days, there was something striking about her: a tall, beautiful girl with a spark in her eyes. But her youth was also shadowed by tragedy. At just 15 years old, Charlize endured one of the most life-changing events imaginable: the loss of her father in a violent incident that left scars she would carry for the rest of her life. Many people would have crumbled under such pain, but Charlize turned it into fuel. It became the fire that pushed her forward, that taught her survival, and that instilled in her the kind of toughness that later made her one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. She left South Africa as a teenager, chasing the dream of becoming a dancer, only to face rejection after rejection. Imagine being in a foreign country, with no family, no safety net, and barely speaking the language. She could have given up, but Charlize didn't. And then, as fate would have it, a chance encounter in a bank in Los Angeles changed everything. A talent agent noticed her, saw her potential, and convinced her to audition. That one moment, that one twist of fate, was the beginning of an extraordinary career. From the very beginning, Charlize wasn't interested in playing it safe. She wasn't going to settle for being the pretty blonde in the background. She wanted roles that challenged her, roles that scared her, and that determination paid off. Over the years, she transformed herself again and again, proving that she could be more than just beautiful. She could be terrifying, inspiring, heartbreaking, and powerful. Who can forget her chilling performance in Monster, where she completely shed her glamorous image to embody the troubled serial killer, Eileen Warren? That role won her the Academy Award and showed the world that Charlize Theron was not afraid to risk it all for her craft. From then on, she became a powerhouse. Whether it was action-packed blockbusters like Mad Max, Fury Road, political dramas like Bombshell, or lighthearted comedies, Charlize proved again and again that she could do it all. But behind the career, behind the awards and accolades, there was always Charlize, the woman. And that's where her story in 2025 becomes so captivating. Because today, Charlize is not just an actress, she's a mother, a partner, a businesswoman, and above all, a survivor. For years, Charlize was known as one of Hollywood's most eligible women. She dated, she loved, she lost. But marriage always seemed like something that eluded her. She once even joked that she didn't need to be married to prove her worth, that her independence was her crown, and fans loved her for it. She was living proof that a woman didn't need a man to be complete. But in 2025, the whispers are different. Reports of a new husband have surfaced, and the thought of Charlize finally tying the knot has sent waves of excitement and curiosity across the world. Who is this mystery man? How did he win the heart of a woman who had always walked her own path? The details remain guarded, as Charlize has always been fiercely protective of her private life. But those close to her say that this marriage feels different. It feels right. He isn't a Hollywood star. He isn't chasing the spotlight. Instead, he's someone grounded. Someone who sees Charlize not as a celebrity, but as a woman, a mother, a human being. and perhaps that's exactly what she's always needed. After all these years of independence, of standing tall alone, maybe she has finally found a partner who allows her to stand tall together. And then there's the question of family. Charlize has always been deeply devoted to her two daughters, Jackson and August. She adopted them as a single mother, pouring her heart into raising them with love, strength, and open-mindedness. She has spoken often about how motherhood transformed her, how it gave her life purpose beyond Hollywood. And now, in 2025, the rumors swirl. Is Charlize considering another child? For some, the idea of becoming a mother again at 50 seems daunting. But this is Charlize Theron we're talking about, a woman who has never been afraid of the impossible, whether through adoption or another path. The possibility of Charlize welcoming another child into her family is both surprising and inspiring. It would be a testament to her belief that love, not age, defines a mother's ability to nurture. But let's not forget the other side of her lifestyle, the part that dazzles and fascinates fans across the globe. Charlize Theron's homes in 2025 are nothing short of spectacular. From her Los Angeles mansion, with its sweeping glass walls and panoramic views of the city, to her more private retreats where she escapes with her children, Charlize has built sanctuaries that reflect her taste and her soul. Inside, her homes are filled with art, with warmth, and with touches of South African culture that remind her of her roots. They are not just houses, they are reflections of a life lived boldly and fully. And then there are the cars. Charlize is not just a casual car owner. She's passionate about her vehicles. Her garage is said to hold everything from sleek sports cars that roar on the highway to rugged SUVs that reflect her adventurous side. There's something powerful about imagining Charlize behind the wheel of a Lamborghini, her hair blowing in the wind, before later switching to a practical Range Rover to take her kids to school. Her cars, much like her life, embody both glamour and practicality, speed and stability. Of course, all of this is supported by her staggering wealth. In 2025, Charlize Theron's net worth is estimated at over $170 million. It's a fortune built through blockbuster films, successful production ventures, endorsement deals, and smart investments. But unlike many celebrities, Charlize has never been one to flaunt her fortune recklessly. She lives in luxury, yes, but she also invests in her children's future, in her foundation, and in causes she believes in. Her activism, her philanthropy, and her efforts to make Hollywood a better place for women are just as much a part of her legacy as her films. So whether she's stepping into a new marriage, considering another child, enjoying the luxury of her homes and cars, or simply sitting at her kitchen table laughing with her daughters, Charlize Theron's life today is a reminder of what real success looks like. It's not the applause of strangers. It's not the awards on a shelf. It's not the net worth in the bank. It's the love of family. It's the peace of home. It's the courage to live life on your own terms. And that, my friends, is why in 2025, Charlize Theron isn't just living, she's thriving. Disclaimer: the content in this video is based on publicly available information, media sources, and opinions. It is created for entertainment and educational purposes only. We do not claim or guarantee that every detail is 100% accurate,